Hello and welcome to the official SDFC Podcast. I'm Kelvin here with Sal for our CONCACAF Champions Cup episode. Sal, it's good to be back.
Yeah, nice to be back. Looking forward to this season.
Can't beat the weather out here. It's great to be back here in San Diego.
While the west of the U.S. is like under snow, we're in sunny San Diego.
San Diego. It's a beautiful day. Well, we're here. We're going to talk a little bit about CONCACAF Champions Cup, give you all the information that you need to know about that, and just briefly touch on just what's been happening with this team coming back for preseason. We'll have conversations with both assistant coach Kelvin Jones and Frank Hjortebjerg. That'll come up next. Really excited for you guys to get to those conversations and just get to see what the team's been up to for the last few weeks.
Yeah, the shortest off season in any professional sports league. I mean, it's funny. I was listening to San Diego radio, and a lot of them were like, "Wait, they're starting back up again?" So confused because the Padres ended, and then SDFC was after that, and now SDFC is already back, and Padres isn't even for a while. So yeah, really short season. I remember it as a player, always like a few months off, and then you're right back into preseason. So, but I liked it. I liked it as a player. You want to keep the momentum going, and I think it's a good thing for SDFC, who had such a great season last year.
Yeah, great momentum. And if you talk to any of these guys, they've said it in all of their media availability since. They're so excited to be back and being able to play. It's like Luca was talking about on the first day back, counting down the days to being able to be back with the team and practicing again. So I think there's a really good energy with this squad. And if there's any confusion on why the team is back so early, playing CONCACAF Champions Cup, our first match at Snapdragon Stadium on February 3rd, that was kind of decided in that December draw time frame. And so, shifting the schedule for the team to come back just a little bit earlier and get right back to work and have a big test really early on in the season.
Yeah, and again, as a player, I played in it a few times, and I always really enjoyed it. It's a good icebreaker for the season. It's a trophy that you want to win as a team right at the start. So it kind of throws you into the fire right away and gets you playing in those pressure games. I think it's going to really benefit this team because it's not like you're playing a lot of these games, at least early on, like, in shortened weeks. It's, you're playing a game, you have a week break, and then you got, I think it's 11 days before the home opener of the MLS. So you're getting plenty of rest. So you don't have to worry about that part, but it's more about like shoring up the little details. Maybe there's some new faces, but overall it's just really good. Really cool to get going early on before the actual MLS season starts.
Yeah, and playing in these meaningful games. I mean, this team last year for the first time was meeting each other and then going and playing and getting their first taste of MLS friendlies within the tournament up in that we had in Coachella. This year didn't have that opportunity, played a couple friendly games, and now was getting a really, really strong opportunity to get to test that experience and really put their skills to the test versus Pumas, a big opponent. We'll talk to you guys all about more of what CONCACAF Champions Cup is, everything you need to know. But I think first we should touch on, there's some new faces to this squad.
Yeah, not many. I mean, there hasn't been too much turnover, which I would imagine was planned after having such a successful season last year. But some new signings, and they're probably not done, to be completely honest. But some new signings, and I'm sure the new signings are all looking forward to getting started. They probably heard amazing things about getting opportunities to play, especially some of them being young players. So, they're probably ready to hit the ground running.
Yeah, we've got Kieran Sargent fortifying the defense, both also Wilson Eisner and new signing Oswald Soy coming in over from Denmark. So he's had the opportunity to, go over and train with FC Nordsjælland for a little bit and kind of integrate into that style of play before getting over here. So good to fortify the defense there. And then big signing Lewis Morgan to help fortify the attack there. Yeah. What can you tell us? I know you played for Red Bull. He's coming from Red Bull, about what we could expect maybe from a player like him.
I think he's a great player. He's someone I watched, obviously after I left Red Bull, he's been in that kind of cycle of Red Bull players. But I mean, he was really good during their run where they went to the MLS Cup final. With him, if he's healthy, he's going to be a great player. And I think everyone knows that, including himself. So I think it'll be important to keep him on the field this year because that's a sneaky good signing.
Yeah, 2-footed player, really likes to make those chances and be really creative. And getting into the heads of defenders is what he's shared about what his play style is like. So really excited to get to see him.
Yeah, he's going to pressure. I mean, look, Red Bull is known for that pressure pressure style, make it hard on the defense to play against. So as a position player, probably in the attack on the wing, he's going to put a lot of defenders' heads down. He's going to work hard.
And then we've also had some really key contract extensions. Super exciting for this club to be able to extend players that have made a huge impact on this team in year one. We've got obviously Anders Dreyer. Great to be able to see a player like him being extended in this league after coming in and being newcomer of the year and getting to stay here. He's on contract through 2029 with option for the following year. Same thing with Luca Bambino. So getting his first MLS debut last year and now being able to extend a contract until 2029 with San Diego has an option as well. And then another player, Ima Boateng, a veteran in this league and a super important voice for this locker room and really great leadership. And obviously has great ties within Right to Dream and has been a part of this program for so long. So being able to secure him for another year with another option as well. And then Mikey.
Yeah,
getting to extend Mikey on a multi-year deal.
Yeah, all three players, including the head coach. I mean, they're huge, right? I mean, you got so much probably interest coming for Anders Bambino. You've heard all the probably interest as a young 18-year-old playing as many games as he did in the MLS and performing in all of those games, being that consistent at a young age. All you hear is how hard he works and the type of player that he is. And then obviously we spoke about Boateng and his leadership within the locker room and how key that is. And then the piece that puts it all together, and that's Mikey. And so I think keeping together those core players, and I'm sure there'll be others as the season goes on, keeping those four players is super important. Super important to keep the consistency, to keep the locker room, to keep the culture, to keep the game model, all these things that make SDFC. They addressed it in this offseason, extending these guys.
Really exciting and incredibly well-deserved for all of those parties mentioned. Yeah. We'll get to see them all in action very soon. But first, we want to give you an explainer on what CONCACAF Champions Cup is. So for those of you who may not know or may be familiar with a different title, it used to be called Champions League.
Yep, CONCACAF Champions League.
You've played in that before?
Yeah, played in that a few times. So, yeah, I mean, it's a unique tournament. It's a fun tournament. I mean, when I was playing in it, no MLS team had won yet. So it was kind of that thing that every MLS team wanted to do. Since then, I think a few have won it. But yeah, it's just a unique tournament where, as a player, you get to experience things that when you travel around to the U.S. for most of these games. At times we had to go to, Honduras or Costa Rica for some games. And so all these were good experiences just in life in general, which I really enjoyed. And now, obviously, the format's a little bit different. I think there's 27 teams. 5 have a first round bye. There's the other remaining 22 play a home and away series with the away goal rule. So, for example, if you win 1-0 at home, and you lose 1-2 away, you would go on because you had the away goal. So, ties go to the away team or the away goal.
And with the home and away matchups, the score is an aggregate score of the two matches that are played.
Combined.
And so the winner from that will advance. That is for the first 4 rounds. And then the final is actually a single elimination game held between the two teams that advance through this format. So I think it's really exciting. There's going to be 7 MLS teams competing in that first round. That includes 22 teams. That includes FC Cincinnati, LAFC, LA Galaxy, Vancouver, Nashville, and Philadelphia, as well as obviously San Diego FC. And, playing in all of these areas, like you mentioned, this CONCACAF tournament is the tournament for North America, Central America, as well as the Caribbean. So there's teams across many different regions that I think a lot of these players are going to extremely appreciate the opportunity to play in these different regions and get that experience. Yeah. We're obviously playing in Mexico City, but the team that will compete after that round is in Toluca. So
yeah,
a lot of opportunity there.
Yeah, it's going to be, it is interesting. I mean, it's something that, again, as a player, I love to do it because you just get that season started off in the right note and you get all the little kinks out to begin the season. So, they're probably excited really excited to play it.
The reigning champion of this tournament is Cruz Azul. They won for the 7th time, which is a record, or ties the record for most wins in this tournament since the inception over 60 years ago. And 3 MLS teams in the history of this league have won. So that is Seattle, LA Galaxy, and DC. And the 7 teams that we previously mentioned that are playing in the first round will also then potentially meet the 2 teams that have already qualified through MLS Cup and Leagues Cup titles. That is Seattle and Miami, that are already slated to be playing in that round of 16.
It's such a cool accomplishment that SDFC in their second year is already, involved in this tournament. I don't know. I'm not a history buff with this tournament, but I don't know how many teams in their second year was already a part of it. So, credit again, off that first season, allowed SDFC to get in such a fun tournament and an important tournament.
And we'll talk to Frank and to Kelvin a little bit about what this tournament means. They give a preview of, this designation is kind of sitting on their board still from last year of making this tournament their milestone wall. So it's definitely something that this team has their eyes on. And, looking at the opponent, we're playing Pumas, who is now well into their season. They're going to be playing 4 games by the time we will meet them on this Tuesday. What can you say about Pumas?
Yeah, they're part of that Big Four in Mexico. They're a huge club in Mexico City, and I can imagine that it's going to be super important for SDFC's style of play to show up, right, and to really. I don't have that concern so much at home. I think they're going to put them on their heels. They're going to be able to establish the play. But I've been a part of teams that when you do go play in Mexico, it just feels like a different environment. But I will say, which is a big but, is SDFC all last season was just road warriors. And so if there's any team that I would have faith in to bring their style of play, to bring their game model to a different country, it would be SDFC. And so I'm looking forward to that game especially.
You mentioned earlier that the away goal rule will be in effect. So that's something that's super important to note, that keeping a shutout at home is very important for when you go on the road, to make sure that you're not kind of backed into a corner there with that rule.
Huge. Because, you look at it where if you're able to get that win at home and keep a shutout, and then you are able to score there, then in the back of your head, hey, say you win 1-0. Now or at home you win 1-0. Now on the road, if you get an early goal, the other team has to score 3, to come back. And so that's a tough thing to have to deal with, right? Mentally, is that if you're able to score on the road, that'll be huge. And then vice versa, if you're able to keep that shutout, like you mentioned, is huge.
This will be a huge opportunity for this team. February 3rd. Kickoff is at 8 p.m. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. It's going to be a little bit of a different show. CONCACAF, runs everything. So if you're looking for that atmosphere, it is a completely new experience, kind of similar to what we experienced during Leagues Cup. Really awesome to be able to see that representation here in San Diego, and to see an opponent like Pumas inside Snapdragon Stadium. And then obviously, I think we're just so excited for February 21st for the home opener, for the start of MLS play here. We'll be hosting Montreal, a new opponent for San Diego FC as well. So really excited to also then, bring back that Snapdragon Stadium atmosphere that we all know and love from last year.
Yeah, let's keep it going. Let's keep that momentum going. As a fan, there's nothing better than this. The season's already starting February 3rd. In other professional sports, your season ends and you just can't wait for it to get started. And we're spoiled here. We got, I think, a month and a half, 2 months, and we're already playing again. So I'm excited as a fan.
Me too. Well, I can't wait to get to these conversations with Kelvin and Frank. They will give us so much more insight on what we can expect. But thanks, Sal. Let's get to it.
As the official specialty insurance partner of San Diego FC, Palomar offers standalone earthquake insurance that protects property and peace of mind. It's crucial to be prepared. Visit plmr.com or contact your insurance agent for a quote. Palomar, reimagining specialty insurance with innovative, creative solutions.
All right, we are joined by both of our assistant coaches, Kelvin Jones and Frank Hjortebjerg. Frank, Kelvin, welcome back to the pod.
Thank you.
Good to be back.
It's our first time having both of you on the set at the same time. This is very exciting.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes.
First, I want to shout out, if you're watching the visual version of this podcast, we do have a birthday hat here. It is Kelvin's birthday, so we want to wish him a very happy birthday. Won't make him wear the hat, but
35.
Good to shout out.
I wish. I was telling these guys, I wish I was 35. I had a decent ankle and 2 good knees. But we're getting up to 44 today.
44.
Yeah.
Congrats. Happy birthday.
I made it. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, welcome back. This is our first episode back of the new year. So first, I want to just ask you, how was the very short off season for both of you? What was your favorite thing that you did?
We went back east. Went back to Columbus and then home to Virginia. So got to see some friends, some family, and attend a wedding of a former colleague. So it was always good to see friends and family. But traveling from the other side of the country is different. You almost need a vacation from the vacation, but it was good to get back.
We went back to Denmark and were there for 3 weeks, I believe. Good to see friends and family again. I haven't been back since we started here, so it's been a year. Spent some time on the beach as well, but a kind of different beach environment compared to here. But it was very nice as well. So.
Spoiled a little bit with the San Diego beaches now.
Yeah.
Weather's just a little bit nicer here right now than other places. So,
Yeah.
And it's definitely different.
Yes.
So how has it been, getting back, having kind of a shorter preseason? Give us a little bit of insight on what the last few weeks have looked like from on the pitch.
Yeah, I think, one, it's good to be back. Short preseason, shorter than we expected and than we wanted. But I think this is what we enjoy doing the most, and being back on the field and seeing the guys and being back around with the staff. It's been good. And I would say through the talks that we've had, especially that first week, it was fun to get back. It's great to see the level at which the guys have come this year versus last year, when you've got a year under your belt of the system and the style of play, and guys are comfortable at it rather than jumping in it brand new last year and it takes some time to get in. It's almost as if we picked up where we've left off, and it's good to see that they have the opportunity to start to evolve in the way that we want to play rather than start it all over and starting to teach it. So it's been good.
Yeah, and a very different preseason compared to last preseason, which was quite unique, obviously. And everyone was new, and everyone had to get on board and be on the same page. Now we have some knowledge within the room, and we have more teachers of the style of play and how we do things, and which we need, because we are trying to accelerate it a little bit because of this short period before it really kicks off. But it's been good.
Good. Any younger-sided players impressed you so far in this short time of the 2 weeks? Because a lot of them are getting older. They're going into maybe their third professional year. Has anyone stood out in the last few weeks that you're like, okay, they took a pretty big leap from where they were last year?
I would say it's clear to see that guys like Bombino, Ian Pilcher, Manu Dua, these guys who also played a lot, they come in here with a bigger sense of confidence and believe in what they do, what we do, which leads back to what I was speaking about before, that now they actually feel comfortable teaching the totally fresh guys about this things that we try to do. So that's been good for the environment also, that we now have different levels of knowledge and playing time. But all of these young guys are very good at chipping in with these things, I feel like.
You mentioned it. Yeah, this time last year, the team was just kind of getting to know each other. Everyone was making their introductions and learning the style of play. Now you've kind of taken care of, for the most part of the team, learning the style of play, integrating that for the full course of the year. And you're in a much different position. What does that look like for you all, being able to now advance on that and being able to kind of take that to the next level?
Yeah, I think for us, it's, again, like Frankie said, it's great to come into the preseason with a greater depth of knowledge of what we're trying to do, and everybody's got that year of experience with it as well. But the rest of the league also now has that year of experience as well. It's not new to them to try to figure out how we play. So we also know it's important to keep our identity in the way that we want to play, but we also know that teams are going to adapt. So we have to figure out ways that we can find small margins to continue to grow and to evolve. And like I said, I think coming into the preseason with a much higher level, we're able to address some of these things sooner rather than later. Obviously, much sooner than we want with the Champions Cup, but we also know that it is what it is. But we're excited to continue to see where we can go.
Yeah, I had a question because last year, the milestone wall, for example, that was something that, if you do all the right things, it'll lead us ultimately to where we want to be, right? Is that still the mindset going in? Are you guys projecting your goals long term, or is it still just day by day? These are what we want. Like, is the milestone wall brand new this year? Is it ready to go or what?
Yeah, it's all fresh. It's all fresh. It's been cleaned up. We have a milestone about winning the conference semifinal from last year, and we have the CONCACAF Champions Cup milestone in there still.
Okay.
So it's not totally fresh like it was last year, but we'll continue to do that. What we'll add this year is also speaks to our development as a team and as a squad is milestones about streaks, about consistency. Because we felt like we took a good leap and were able to put many decent performances together. But now we want to really be consistent with them within each individual game. So not having too many periods where we feel like we lose our identity or lose our game model. And also looking at multiple games, and we're able to keep it very consistent at a high level. So we will add that to that milestone wall, which speaks into kind of where we want the team to start develop, in which path we want them to develop.
You have some new guys that have been integrated into this squad, a couple of new additions to this team. And we talked to them a little bit, and the message that they have is very strong when they've come in here and feeling like the culture, even though it is a young team, it doesn't feel like a young team. Like Lewis Morgan mentioned, he's like, I've been around a lot of clubs. This is the club that feels like the culture is just lived day in and day out. What does that mean to you to know like you're part of building a culture that has sustained throughout that year and is so permanent in just the first year to new people coming in?
Yeah, I think, speak to me personally, I think you have an idea and you come into the season beginning of last year and we've got all these words and all these sayings and everyone's like, yeah, the culture. You're like, yeah, it sounds great, but
every team's saying
everyone
that, right?
does it. But then to be in the environment and to live it every day, and it's always about the culture and the people. A lot of these guys come in and say it feels like such a family already. And I love that because the reality is we spend probably more time with each other than we do our families. It's the nature of sports. And to be able to say that this is an extension of your family or you feel that comfortable or you're able to say that this is a family is great because then everybody's able to be comfortable enough to perform at their best. And they have all the support that they can or need to be able to relax and to perform and to go out and play, which I love. So to hear that from new guys is a testament to not just the technical staff, but all the support staff in every department in here and how much we connect and everyone connects with the human being before the soccer player.
And it is really crucial for what we do because first and foremost, we are building culture and we are developing human beings. And then football is a tool to do that. But when you're part of this project and this organization, you gotta build the culture first, and you gotta take care of that every day. And we shouldn't be speaking on behalf of Mikey or Tyler, but now I might be doing it a little bit anyway. But one of their main jobs is to make sure that the culture is taken care of and it is aligned with the rest of the organization. So it is really, really crucial. And then, of course, it is also because we believe that if you have that in place and you develop that, then you have a better chance of winning football, short-term, long-term, obviously. But it has to be top of mind for all of us every day.
And I think that's probably going to help too. And you'll get into situations where, the team has to report back earlier than they think. And everyone seems, across the board, at least what they're saying publicly, is very excited to be here. The energy is very strong to move to that first match in a new tournament, CONCACAF. We've been talking a little bit about CONCACAF and just what that is and what that means globally. But for you two, what is kind of your experience with that? And what are you looking forward to out of the opportunity for this tournament?
Zero. Obviously, being in Columbus, they've made their run, and being a part of that from the outside looking in, it's neat. It's cool. It's a competition. It's a tournament that you try to go out and to win. So, as a fan / employee at that time, it's exciting. It's the biggest event, the biggest tournament within the federation. So it's exciting. And part of our mantras is we want to be able to compete like beasts. And you look at a lot of leagues around, especially youth leagues, you don't really get a chance to compete for something until the end of the season. So to be able to compete for something right at the beginning of the season gives an extra excitement, a stimulus to what can be sometimes a long season. So to be able to start the season with a little bit of a competition is exciting, especially with this CONCACAF, and you're playing opponents that you wouldn't normally play. So it's always exciting to be able to play and hopefully advance and to see how our brand of football can compete with the best in the federation.
Yeah, I have zero experience also. And also working in Europe, I unfortunately haven't not had the experience of going to play in these continental tournaments. So I'm very excited about it.
You look at a team like Pumas, they're 3 games into their season, about to be 4 by the time that we do play them on Tuesday. What can you tell us about Pumas and what you're doing? I know not preparing, you can't tell us specifically about exactly what you're doing, but what can you tell us about what the preparation looks like for this team to get ready for that first real opponent match?
Yeah, I think first of all, everyone's really excited that obviously we could have always spent more time. Coaches could also always spend a week more to fine-tuning the last details. But everyone also, as a players, then they know that it will be so exciting and a different feeling than a preseason game. So everyone's excited about that. And we have the good fortune that we start at home also in our own stadium, which will be very nice. And it could potentially be 2 quite different games just because of the different environments. I've heard a lot about Mexico City, both the city and also playing there, playing away. And it's a different type of task that we'll have to adapt to. And Pumas is a strong opponent. And like you said, they're already in season, so already up and running. And hopefully we can match that tempo from the beginning. Short or long preseason, no matter that case. So we're really excited first and foremost.
Yeah, touching on that, I mean, I played in a few, I think at the time it was called CONCACAF Champions League or whatever. And yeah, to touch on the Mexico part, yeah, when I was with Kansas City, we played, I think it was, I can't even remember who, Monterrey maybe, or one of those teams. Anyways, we play them at home and we beat them. And then we go down to their place and it was like, it was just a completely different team. I don't know if it was us that just played terribly or them getting, into it with the fans or what, but I think we ended up losing like 5-1 that game and we were out pretty quick. But just as a fan too, I think it's pretty cool to be able to see, your team get to play against teams from Mexico in a non-friendly environment, right? And also get to play Central American teams. And so I always enjoyed it as a player, especially coming in. I was always a type that just wanted to play meaningful games right away, right? Play for things. And I also felt like it prepared us a little bit going into the MLS season. You work out those first few game kinks a little bit, and then you kind of start fresh. So I like that.
Yeah, and hopefully have a bit more luck than you did.
No. I think with the style of play and the game model that SDFC has, I think they'll be able to control the ball a little bit better in a tough environment. So, yeah.
Well, thank you guys both so much for your insight. It's been so fun having the 2 of you on this segment. We'll have to do that a lot more this season. We're looking forward to the first match at Snapdragon Stadium on February 3rd. Kickoff is at 8 p.m. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. Again, that is the matchup against Pumas. Thank you so much for joining us for our match preview presented by Alaska Airlines. Can't wait for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here, guys.